Well, hello there. So, a lot of people have been asking me, often, how to train for depth whilst freediving. And the honest answer is I don't know. I've got no idea. You see, I spearfish, which is where you utilize and take parts of freediving and then deform and mutate and alter them to suit your needs in spearfishing. So, instead of going through how to train for depth per se, I'll just go through what I personally did to get to where I am today in spearfishing, and hopefully that will help people because there's no one answer for everybody. Okay, so the way I started out was I went out and bought a 5-meter rig line and a dodgy little spear, and I used to swim around and dive until I could get to the end of that 5-meter rig line with time to actually look around and hunt. Then once I was at a point where I could get down to the 5 meters and have the floats kind of stopping me and have ample time to hunt around for a whole day. Now, not just once or twice, I mean like a whole day spearfishing at that depth comfortably. Then I went out and bought a 10-meter rig line. Guess what I did? Same thing again. Kept diving until I could go down and physically, comfortably hunt around the bottom with time to get the fish and have time for things to go horrifically wrong and still be able to get back to the surface without getting messed up. Once I could do it at 10, I got a 15-meter rig line. And then so on, I got a 20-meter rig line and 25, right up until the point I had a 35-meter rig line and a 5-meter bungee. And I could get to the bottom and comfortably cruise around like that and get the fish I wanted. At that point, it started becoming a hell of a drag pulling the rig line back up to the surface. So this is when I started using reel guns. Now, when I first started using reel guns, not everything went to plan. I was getting down to the depth and shooting the fish, but they would often get sharked or eaten. Sorry, sharked and eaten are the same thing. Or rigged up all around the bottom. And I would lose the fish, my spear, and a decent amount of line. It was at that point I asked another spearfisherman who was in the area and asked him how he was landing these big fish at depth. And his answer was just simply time. And when he said it, I thought he was taking the piss out of me. But later on I realized it to be true in two aspects. Time, as in you need time down there to get the shot that you want and to put hurt on the fish before you start swimming back up, particularly with the reel guns. And the other one was time, just physically time in the water yourself. It takes a lot of changes in your body when you go from the surface to 30 plus meters in depth. Your organs are moving all over the place. You're stretching things past where they used to be stretched, and other things you're squeezing to the point that they've never been squeezed before. Your body goes through a lot of changes in that dive down and the dive back up, and it physically takes your body a long time to get used to that. When you rush it, which I did a few times in my arrogance of youth, you'll hurt yourself. Hence a bit more gravelly voice these days. I tore this thing here, esophagus, a couple of times, and once I even pulled a little section of my lungs away. And that was months and months of coughing and spluttering, foamy blood, and it was not fun. I don't recommend it. And that had to slow me right back down again and kind of progress back to depth and learn how to do it properly. Those injuries were done by rapid, jerky movements at depth, and my body wasn't yet ready to move like that at depth. So ideally, if I could leave you with any tips on how to spearfish at depth, it is literally do not rush it. Take your time or you'll hurt yourself, or worse. Slowly progress until the point where you have time to hunt the fish at the depth you are diving. There is no point swimming down, hitting the bottom, going, shit, that is a lovely fish, and then bouncing and swimming back up. Or hitting that fish with a poor long shot that then tears off, gets rigged up, and gets eaten or lost. The next one I would give for advice is choose your shots at depth. If you can't get a good shot on the fish and put hurt on it and stop it from getting back to the structure or the bottom, just don't take the shot. It really isn't worth the risk. Every so often I'll take a gimme and be like, yeah, no, I really want this fish. And I end up wasting hours trying to either recover the fish or recover my gun. Well, hopefully this helps. No, sorry, one more bit of advice. I may have touched on it, but not gone into depth. Take it slow. It has taken me 15 years to be diving at the depth I am at currently. It took me 5+ years just to be diving comfortably at 20 meters. It's not a race. Go and do your freediving courses. They're wonderful. They're great for safety. But you have to remember, freediving is swimming down a rope and swimming back up a rope. It's not swimming down, finding your fish, crossing terrain at bottom, hiding, scratching, shooting the fish, fighting the fish, moving your body freakish directions, and then swimming back to the top whilst having sharks and all other things follow you. It's very different. What works for one won't necessarily work for the other. Oh, hopefully this helps. It's honestly how I did it, and I hope that people take something away from this. It could just be the ramblings of a strange man in the dark, but hopefully it helps someone. Oh, have fun. Talk to you soon. Bye.